8:05, and you're here to do it once again. It's Island Tea, and I've got my girl Kortensia here with me. Good morning.
Oh, morning. You know, somebody was telling me I need a radio persona, and I'm like, Well, I need a radio name. Okay. So should it be Carty or should it be KO? What do you think? Since Kortensia seems to hit a lot of people for 6, not saying that you don't have it all together, but what do you think? Carty or KO? I think KO songs.
No.
So KO?
KO, no.
Kortensia?
Just K.
Just K?
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of people with K. What makes me special? What makes me stand out?
I think KO could work.
I think KO could work.
But there's
Make it easy for them.
There's a soca artist named KO, so maybe you don't want to.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So what about Quartz then?
Quartz?
None of them are going to work?
No.
Oh, boy. So I have to keep it to Kortensia.
You don't have a middle name? Oh, yeah.
No, but then it will clash
no.
with Candace. Although she's Candice and I'm Candace, it's still not authentic, you know? It's my name, yes. It's spelled different, but we have somebody that, because they call me Candy too. So, yeah, I'm replacing a Candy. But, yeah. So what do you think? Stick to Kortensia?
I like K, but...
Okay. Well, we will let the radio audience decide. Good morning to one and all in St. Kitts and Nevis and the diaspora. Welcome to Island Tea, as Jam said. We're here once again to do it just for you.
So, what's going on with you?
Not a thing. I woke up this morning, so I'm grateful. What about you? How are you feeling today? As Michelina say, you're the glue that holds the cake,
whatever,
or the stuff together.
Well,
morning, Michi.
Just taking in the craziness going on in the U.S. You know, with people seemingly want to vote.
For the crazy man.
Yes, I don't understand it.
I tell you.
I do not
give us
understand.
Barabbas. Kill Jesus. That's what they're doing. We don't want a good man like Biden that's not gonna make create an insurrection. We want Trump because we want the next one.
I do not understand it. And then you I don't know if you heard about. No, you realize there are 2 East Indians on the Republican side.
Yes, the guy that's had it out with Don Lemon.
Lemon, yeah.
Lemon that got fired eventually. After that, and Miss Haley, right?
Yeah. I call him Ramaswamy or Hellaswamy.
Ramesh Swami.
Hellaswamy, because it's just very annoying.
So you don't.
So apparently, a few people have expressed their, I guess, their discomfort with him.
Ramaswamy.
Yeah, because they said, 9/11, and some guy said, I still remember 9/11, and I still have hard feelings, and a lot of people think he's a Muslim. Turns out of course, they're both. Well, he's a Hindu. She's actually a Sikh. Actually,
she's
a Sikh. People say Sikh, but the correct pronunciation is Sikh. Actually, Sikh. Yeah. Her family is actually Sikh. So
But aren't they all?
Yeah, they're both. Yeah, but
this religion thing.
So I feel like. And they thought that she was going to be second. She turned out she was third, and I actually feel that the fact that she's
third now.
Well, the one in Iowa, she was third behind DeSantis, but of course he was a distant second from
the devil.
From the devil, basically. Yes.
The orange devil.
Oh boy!
I cannot believe people. The only thing I can, and I don't even want to say I want to agree with them, because let God be the judge, is the fact that Donald Trump, maybe with the abortion thing where they said the woman doesn't have the right to choose anymore. I don't agree with people just going and dumping the kids because the kids didn't ask to come.
No, I agree.
But what if it's life-threatening? What do they do then? Allow the mother to die and maybe the kid die with the mother just in case if they can't save the child?
But that's one of the few. It's one of the. Well, I wouldn't say few, but it's one of the things that the Democrats can use in their fight against the Republicans in the general election. Because, if you notice most of the, there was a big backlash at the last midterm elections because of this whole the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court striking down,
their right to choose. Okay.
Yeah, so that's gonna continue to be like a lightning rod for people, for people deciding who they want to run the country. And but I
just hope
I don't understand how this
people want the wicked man to run it, right?
Yes, I do not understand it. But the funny thing is right, I still think that at the end of it he's gonna lose again.
Donald?
Yes, because
what if he has people working for him? Because
I don't think Americans. I mean, God, I really have to say some choice things about them these days. But I've gotta say, I think when it matters, they come through, and I really think that they're more. I think they're more sensible people than stupid people.
But the fact that we see that Mr. Trump is leading, that's ridiculous. Should we not be concerned?
But you must remember, it's only Republicans mostly. In some states during the primaries, they allow everyone to vote, but in most states now, it's only Republicans voting. So the people on their side. Mm-hmm. And then there was a poll yesterday that said that 35% of the Republicans said that if he was convicted for all that other stuff, that would change things. So, and that lines up with the about 32% of Republicans who would not have him on any. So I think those are the sensible ones, and that's where the election is going to be decided, because a lot of the decent Republicans are not going to vote for his nonsense. So.
Yeah, let's hope, because I don't like that. Oh boy. Ugh. I just cannot believe that a man of such bad stature is all the way up there. It's like the bad reign supreme and the good is not welcomed anymore.
I know, right?
It's just rough.
Easy.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Ooh, I like your tie. We're good.
Yes, I want to say a pleasant morning to everybody. Today is Wednesday, the 17th of January.
Hump day.
Yes, and so those persons who are at work and everything, I just want to say, I'm just wishing you the best today, whatever you have to do. As you indicated, I heard the conversation on my way here. I think Kortensia is a nice ring.
Kortensia?
Kortensia. You could have 1010.
Oh boy.
Kortensia.
You know what I mean? Because that sounds like Kortensia.
Kortensia.
Yeah, but that sounds like, no. We're going to figure it out. Maybe everybody will just have to learn to call the long name Kortensia. And it's not hard.
And then you had one that I heard you said.
K-O? Corty?
No, you said quartz.
Quartz.
And then I thought about corpse. So I was like, no, not that one.
All right.
So, you don't like Kortensia?
No, because that sounds like Shensia. Oh. Although I had the last part of my name before hers. No, I don't want anything that rhymes with. We have to be authentic. Just like how you stand out, Azard. Everybody knows Azard. Everybody.
Because hardly everyone has that name.
Exactly. And see, so my name should stand out too, because who else has Kortensia and St. Kitts? Yes. Nobody. Everybody have Hortense or Kortensia.
Yeah. But Azard needs to be worried about the people who, when they try to remember his name, probably go, okay, how am I going to remember that name, Azard? Okay, Biohazard, maybe.
That's a reality.
Biohazard?
No.
Biohazard?
Of course not. Not biohazard. I've been in a number of campaigns before at school, the Guild of Students and stuff like that. And it's always, I remember when I was in Jamaica running for a guild position, and the Jamaicans, they're very clever. And I said, you know what my name is? And they was like, no, you can't use that name. No one is going to remember it. You want a name that people could identify. And so that's why I really emphasize the Gumbs, And I have a little ring that they gave me at school with the Gumbs. I'm perhaps going to use it in the future. I can't use it now.
So why you can't tell us? Why you want to keep us in suspense?
But it really made me think about, a name and how you get persons to remember that name. Yeah. And so, trust me, when I call and make orders anywhere, I don't use Azard,
You say Gumbs?
I say Gumbs.
Oh,
it's
boy.
easy.
But then we have quite a few Gumbs and St. Kitts, so how does your...
But I actually think...
How is your Gumbs identified?
I actually think it's it's unusual, but at the same time, something people can remember. Azard, I don't think.
Yeah.
But
Or even AZ.
And when I
Yeah.
did the history, it's Azad. It's supposed to be Hindu, that Pakistani kind of thing. It means Azad without the R, which means freedom, independence, And so, my parents, you guys, when you went to to get it written, you should have left out the R. But I still appreciate
Listen,
it.
a lot of people spell people's name wrong, have people with names that is not there. No.
I like my name.
It's
unique,
different, yeah.
yes.
Nobody else on St. Kitts is Azad. Nobody else is
Yes.
Kortensia. Is there somebody else that is Jamster?
His correct name. Well, no.
I was
Because
trying not
correct
to go for
name-
his government name.
correct names. I don't want to use the word correct because all names are correct.
Yeah, his government name. Yeah, I
So-
think there are others.
The one that he uses on his passport, and I see him giving me the eyes already, is Trevor.
But Trevor is common. I've heard more than one Trevor on St. Kitts, right?
Oh God, endless. You,
Okay.
you probably go down the steps now and
Trevor.
bump into a Trevor.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
TW.
Who's TW?
Trevor Woodley.
Oh, jeez. Why is Azard doing this to me? I'm like, who? Oh, boy.
So-
So he should be TW.
Yeah. He calls me AZ.
AZ, yeah.
Even
It
though
goes-
I've been using AG, because as Gums.
Is
But
it?
I mean, AZ works too.
Ooh.
I'm not fussing.
Jamster, is this pointing to the future? AG.
I was born with AG.
The shade. Where am I? Should I put on some?
with AG, yeah.
I know exactly. Should I put on some blockers this morning?
Yeah,
Nice.
so it's all fun and games,
Yep.
There's a bit of humor. But as we look at the situation, and as I've been looking, there were pictures posted of our cabinet ministers, plus additions. Yesterday, you remember yesterday, while I was talking, I said, we have persons have been saying. I said that persons have been saying that they haven't been meeting as a cabinet lately. Whether or not I knew that to be true, I could not say because I'm not there. Whatever persons, often talk.
Yeah.
But yesterday, we saw pictures of the ministers in cabinet. And so we didn't see pictures like that before. Maybe so it makes me feel as though this is the first cabinet for the year after, some time, because they had pictures, they had prayer, they had everything. And in addition, we have seen where it is that, and I saw some posts being made on St. Kitts Nevis Times and the People's Action Movement as well, asking the question, because we see persons there, Ambassador Kenny Douglas, you see Ambassador Leon Natter, a part of the cabinet, and often there, very often. And of course, the Prime Minister could invite persons to cabinet and stuff like that, but we see them, or pictures of them really with the cabinet very often. So my question to persons, we could discuss it, could not discuss it. How do you feel about persons who might not have been elected, put themselves up for the position, not elected, and still a part of the cabinet meetings? Do you feel regular cabinet meetings, as it seems? I only could go based on the pictures that I see and what persons have been saying. So is that something that is alarming? Is that something that's okay? If persons want to weigh in on it, that's something we could weigh in, we could discuss it, because at the end of the day, these ministers, they represent our federation. What happens in cabinet affects us all, whether or not we like it or not. It affects us all. Policies that they create affects us all. Whatever they're doing affects us all. So when persons say that they're not interested in knowing about what's happening, then politics, in the sense of that, you realize that at the end of the day, whether or not you listen, whether or not you pay attention, whether or not you participate, it will affect you. Once you live in St. Kitts and Nevis, we're a small island, and what they do affects us by extension.
Indeed. So I need to ask, if you're not elected, you cannot be anything, or you shouldn't be anything in cabinet?
Usually when you have cabinet meetings, it's for the cabinet of ministers, meaning persons who hold portfolios.
Oh, so
sometimes you have parliamentary secretaries as well, a part of cabinet.
They don't necessarily, or do they necessarily need to have like portfolios like that? Because what if they have their folios, because they're both ambassadors, right? So they
But
must
what
have.
ministries do they hold? What ministries are they responsible for? Usually it's ministers. Persons are
Okay.
elected, they form part of the executive and they form part of cabinet. Save and except you have the cabinet secretary who sits in, that's the usual thing, and based on because different countries would have different models, based on the model that I'm aware of here. It's usually would be you have the cabinet secretary who sits there and do whatever functions the cabinet secretary would. But the fact that you call the person cabinet secretary, you would assume that they will be in a cabinet, so they are in cabinet. And then you have the other ministers, part of the executive, persons who have portfolios, persons who exercise. You also could have, I've seen parliamentary secretaries as well. And so it really, I'm not seen, I don't know, in times past, maybe persons could say we're ambassadors, persons who have been ambassadors go to cabinet regularly. Of course, you have persons who are invited, and you might have persons who are invited to make presentations of cabinet. But at the end of the day, to have persons, and again, I don't know, in what capacity, but then we're seeing pictures, we're seeing when they say meeting with cabinet members, meeting with cabinet, you're seeing those two all the time, is as if, okay, the electorate said we're going to go with number 7 for Dr. Timothy Harris, number 5 for Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, number 5 for Honorable Sean Richards, but no, we don't care what the electorate says. We're going to put them here and
so
to serve in the capacity.
Elected Minister Richards and elected Minister Harris should be in cabinet.
No, they don't form part of cabinet because they're not part of the executive.
Government.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, cabinet ministers would take an oath, and the oath of secrecy and everything like that. Again, what are the person's views on this? If persons out there want to give views on the situation, I know persons said, I have seen comments where persons said, they're invited, and so they're invited, and the Prime Minister could invite persons, and persons could be invited cabinet. We're not saying that. I'm not saying that persons can be invited cabinet. Extension, make presentations to the cabinet, but it seems as though they seem now part of the cabinet, not just invited to, but part. That's from the pictures, from everything that you're seeing.
Is it illegal?
Well, I mean, we would have to see, I will have to delve further in it, but everything doesn't have to be written in the sense of a hard and fast law, but by extension, when you look at what is expected of those persons in cabinet, whether or not they would have sworn to the oath, and whether they could swear to an oath of secrecy, what is based on what cabinet ministers are doing. Remember, when you go to cabinet, you are given an instrument by the Governor General, and this instrument is to be a part of you see them when you have the swearing in of the cabinet.
Yeah.
Those persons weren't swearing at the cabinet. You understand? So when you look at all of these, and persons saying, and you look at invitation versus complete inclusion. Invitation versus complete inclusion. And these individuals weren't given in any part. They didn't, the big ceremony, there was no swearing in, there was no instrument given to them by the Governor General, giving them portfolios and reasons to be part and seen as part of the cabinet. So when persons go and ask whether or not they're law, we could look by formalities. We could look at whether or not these persons carried out the necessary formalities to be a part of the cabinet. And if not, then why are they seemingly, because we see from the pictures, I say seemingly, because maybe it is that they're not there every time. Maybe it is that they're not there every time, but from what we see in the pictures, it could be.
I have a comment here. Someone says that where is it? There are more issues that are far more meaningful to discuss. Culture, music, what's happening in countries we have relationships with. Who goes to cabinet is not worth the time.
I like that point. Who goes to cabinet determines how we interact internationally. It determines how we interact in terms of sports. We had discussions about the sports. We had ICC cricket, everything. We realized that our Minister of Sports said, our facilities weren't up to scratch, and we didn't have the things in place for sports. So whatever decision is done in cabinet affects us all, because then persons said, there wasn't, the persons felt that, we should have held some sort of games, and not just the practice matches, but the actual matches. So when persons say, there are other things to discuss, I think they're looking at it in a very small, minute lens, not seeing the grand picture. That cabinet branches off, and cabinet, whatever is done in cabinet, takes a ripple effect on the federation. So when we start to ignore things that might seem small, we wonder how come things are getting not where we want it to get, and things are not happening as it ought, or things are happening. So when you ignore the small things, then it gives room for other things to happen. And once one thing is ignored, then someone tries another thing, and then it's ignored, and someone tries another thing, and then at the end of the day, they say, well, you all have not been saying anything about anything, so why should we talk about it now?
Oh boy. Jams, do you believe that if we don't speak up, then we'll get beat up?
You mean speak up as in terms of, you mean
wanting to know or making sure that what is happening is correct?
Well, I mean, we should speak up, but I mean, there's a 50-50 chance that they would even listen, you know.
I mean, but it doesn't prevent us from speaking and hearing our views, because you never know who's listening.
And in fact,
that caller, that person who made that message was listening.
Yeah.
And we don't know who that individual is. You know who that individual is. I don't know who that individual is. And so we don't know who else is listening and maybe weighing in. So you never underestimate the power of your voice and underestimate
speaking of people listening, someone else sent a message and said there's another Azard who I'd forgotten about, because he's actually my mom's friend, and I should have from Sandy Point.
Oh yes,
Azard Wilson.
Yes, a lot of people used to confuse me with that. Azard Wilson, who was an athlete.
He's senior to this. Is he?
Yeah, he's older than all of us. Yeah.
So he's older than you too, Jamster?
He's a much older guy.
How is his name spelled, Jamster?
Same way.
With the R?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that person registered twice.
I am betting that's where your parents.
Maybe.
And that's why there was a long time I actually thought you were from Sandy Point for some reason.
Well, I do. Yeah. My family, my father's side did live. My father did live in Sandy Point, and his sisters reside in Sandy Point and family.
You know, he was a professor too. I think he's retired now, but he doesn't look anywhere near his age.
Oh.
Yeah. I spoke to him last time he was here. He spoke to him. Yeah. He used to run long distance.
Azard, have you run long distance?
No. But I could talk long distance.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Listen, he's got some great comebacks this year. I've been looking at him from last year, the bottom of last year to now. You know, he's got rhymes, he's got quotes, he's got everything on fleek.
Yes. Global warming is in trouble.
Ain't got nothing on his head.
So guys, that was a bit of interesting discussion that we had. They're also saying that the earthquakes have been rocking the Eastern Caribbean.
Did you feel that one yesterday? I am an earthquake feeler, and I felt bad not feeling 8:50 a.m. I guess we were deep in discussion. We didn't even realize. Yes. Apparently it happened in Anguilla. It affected us and somewhere else. Where else did it affect, AC?
It says here, Jamster, it says a magnitude 4.3 earthquake occurred just off the coast of Anguilla this morning. And it says, according to the University of West Indies, it says the earthquake occurred around 8 a.m. and had the depth of 10 kilometers. And this was 22 hours ago, so this probably was around yesterday.
Yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning.
Yeah, and I'm like, how come we didn't feel that? 4.3. Yours said 8, this one said 8:50. 8:50 a.m.
Yes.
Oh boy. And that's it. It was pretty short though.
Here we have also a former CCJ judge, Jacob Witt, dies at 71. So former Caribbean Court of Justice judge, Justice Jacob Witt, has died. Justice Witt's death was confirmed by the CCJ in a media release this afternoon. Witt, who recently retired from the CCJ due to ill health, was 71 years old. In a tribute message to the Justice Witt, the CCJ noted that he was an integral member of the CCJ bench in 2005, and he diligently served until his retirement in December 2023. This native of the Netherlands was an eminent jurist with wide legal expertise in private law, commercial and insurance law, bankruptcy, insolvency, company law, intellectual property, criminal law, military law, administrative law, constitutional law and international human rights law, the court said. CCJ President Justice Adrian Saunders commented that it is a sad day for the court. Justice Waite and I worked together since 2005 when we formed part of the integral bench of the court. He was the lone civil law judge on the current CCJ bench with rich experience in military law, administrative law, constitutional law, and international human rights law.
Yeah. And this I say, right? He didn't get to enjoy his retirement, man. He just retired. We're only in January. Condolences to Justice Waite's families and friends.
Yeah.
This is... I hate it when people retire and they can't get to enjoy a little, do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to retire early, very early.
You hear those stories of people retiring and they die like a week later or
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's so sad.
We don't know the reason for his retirement. Maybe it was...
It did say ill. They
that's
said he retired from the court because of ill health.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It could have been that his retirement... Even
was
though I just read it,
forced
I know when as a justice you have a age where it is that...
How long can you be on the bench?
Well, let me say the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, because I'll have to look at the information for the Caribbean Court of Justice. But in the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, if I'm not mistaken, is 68.
Okay.
Yeah. So, 68. Yeah, for the Court of Appeal, I think. Maybe 62 for High Court. But around in the 60s, 60s.
Okay.
And so you have the age limit, and you also have if the individual, by reason of health or otherwise, is incapable of carrying out the function of a justice, because that's a very important role.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you adjudicate on matters that high stake matters sometimes, and so you really need someone who is able physically, mentally to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see COVID is on the rise in Grenada and Bahamas. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm just hoping that it doesn't reach our borders, because then we're gonna get in trouble.
Well, we just have to ensure that we do all that is needed and all that is necessary. We've been through it before. We make sure that we put on a mask. In fact, I have seen persons putting on their masks now.
Yeah, I tell you.
And I mean, if we put on our masks and we just be cautious during this time, I think that it would go a long way. Make sure you exercise, make sure you eat right, make sure you stay hydrated. Just yesterday we talked about on Medical Talk the importance of staying healthy, staying fit, staying, doing what it takes to ensure that you are the best version of you, physically, mentally, emotionally even. So those are things that we want. Yeah. Also, too, I'm looking at this, and it just came out about an hour ago. It says the OACS leaders condemn power grab by BVI governor. So it says the leaders of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States Tuesday expressed the alarming concern at the current situation in the BVI, where the governor of the British Overseas Territory, John Rankin, is moving to implement the recommendations of a commission of inquiry for governance reform. The OACS groups the islands of Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Anguilla, and the BVI. In a statement, the leaders said that they have noted the request by the governor for additional powers which will allow him to bypass the territorial government and implement unilaterally the recommendations of the Commission of Inquiry for Governance Reforms in the BVI. They said they condemn strongly any efforts to undermine the legitimate government of the BVI and express solidarity with the government and the people of the BVI in the undertaking of the process of reforms. They are also condemning the considerate diligence exercise by the democratically elected government and the people of the British Virgin Islands and the progress made thus far in implementing governance reforms which have no doubt strengthened the BVI systems and institutions following the elections which were successfully held in April 2023.
Azard, we were just talking about exercise, right? And I'm looking at a article right here from Loop Caribbean, and it says former Miss Bahamas World contestants die suddenly in Bimini. And it says the Miss Bahamas organization said Roberts, who was a health and wellness advocate, passed away yesterday after returning from an early morning run on her home island of Bimini.
When was that published?
The 11th. But I'm just saying, imagine you're trying to be healthy, because we were just talking about health.
Yeah.
And then you I don't get it. We do. We're in trouble. We don't. We're still in trouble. Where's the middle ground?
Exactly.
Right.
We never know what our lot in life is.
I think we just have to ignore the outlier scenarios.
And we also have to remember.
How do we?
I would like to think that scenario is in the minority.
But I know a lot of people that exercise for all their life, and then all of a sudden they get a stroke. And they're fit.
Look at how many people don't do it, and they suffer the repercussions. I have always said, we don't know what our lot is in life. We don't know what our future holds. We don't know what is going to happen to us. If we knew, then we could prepare for it.
I always heard
But we have to make sure we put our best foot forward, and we have to make sure that we do what we need to do in order to do just that.
I mean, you hear these infuriating anecdotes. Like I remember reading how Winston Churchill smoked up until his very death. He died in his 80s, and guy smoked like a chimney and ate what he wanted to eat, and
he didn't have lung issues, right?
No.
Okay.
So I mean, if you really dwelled on some of this stuff, you're just not exercising. To hell with it! I'll just eat what I want to eat. So that shouldn't stop us from doing the right thing.
That's
and
what
trying
Azard
to,
said. Yes.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you said he died in the 80s and doing all of that. Yeah. Perhaps had he not been smoking,
he gonna make it to 100 and something.
Yeah. So we often look at not seeing the other side of things.
Oh boy, life is just a lot.
So someone here on the Facebook say it is Azard Wilson, not Azard. So the person spell it Ezzard. No, I had my aunt used to call me Azard, So I wondering if it's because she know this Wilson person, and then she called me Azard from small. I'm like, who's Azard?
I don't know if I've ever seen his name written. That's interesting. So
yes. So, and again, we've hit back the article that I was reading, and we're talking about the leaders condemning the power grab by the governor. The governor extending or asking to have powers to implement the recommendations that would go beyond his normal powers. And it all goes on to this when we talk about it. We spoke about just. Am I talking? That is the.
Like you call you.
So we are talking about this, and you're seeing where leaders are condemning persons for extending their powers further than what they have, And so in the same light, when we talk about things that happening locally, persons are saying, why are you talking about that? That doesn't matter. But then you see in the grander scheme, even our leaders are saying, okay, if this is your power and this is what you're supposed to do, then go and do what you're supposed to do. So it applies outside
all
but
around.
Not home. And you're okay to talk about what happening outside, but you're okay about talking about what happening here in St. Kitts. Because in here to say kids, you're causing problems.
But you hear what I always say, people don't talk about themselves, they talk about others. That's what I say, look in your yard first before you look in your neighbors.
I always find it very interesting, the fact that if we talk about what happens at home, people say you're being negative, you're being overly critical, and they want to come for you in terms of they literally just they want to make sure that you don't exist, whether not even physically, but in terms of whether it is the sacrifices that you have the sacrifices that come with being outspoken, being able to see things and speak on it. And so at the end of the day, persons are like, you could talk about everything. You could talk about Trump. You could just give me an example, the U.S. and politics, but they're not talk about St. Kitts and politics. They're not talk about politics that affects you, politics issues that affects you right here. They're not talk about those things. So you could talk about international politics, regional politics, just don't talk about local politics. And so if we can't talk about what's happening here, then what's the sense? Why do I live here? Why do I continue to work here? Why do I continue to think that here is the best place to live if I can't talk about what's happening here?
Did you see the post the Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas put out yesterday?
Oh, I saw his post.
Position, titles, and fame are temporary, but the way we treat others can last a lifetime in their hearts. Good morning, blessed Tuesday. There was another one that says, sometimes we focus more on those opposing us than those sitting close to us. We are living in the days that we must pay attention to all things. I didn't get to see the other part of that. And then he has one that said, all storms are not meant to disrupt our paths, but to bring visibility to cluttered pathways. Happy Tuesday. Have a great day. So this one that says, all storms are not meant to disrupt our paths, but to bring visibility to cluttered pathways. So what does that mean? There's going to be a clean out. Some people need to be cleaned out. Some people need to get sent home.
You think he is, as the young people like to say, throwing shade?
I think some shade is in it. Subliminal shade. Subliminal shade. And I like this one where he basically mentioned that position, titles, and fame are temporary, and he's correct.
Yeah, they are temporary.
Because you can be voted out again and somebody else go in. That's just how that one works.
Yes.
It was rough. But I don't know what's going on. But he's very subliminal with his messages. You have to really delve into them. But then you still don't want to delve into them and say that he's saying this when he may not be saying that.
Yeah. Remember his famous
let me
meme?
cock my foot and drink my tea. Coffee.
I'm going to drink my, what is this in here now?
Chai tea.
Okay, I'm gonna
it's Twinings, but I don't think I like the Twinings. I think I prefer the Big Glow vanilla chai.
Okay.
Twinings just is like, ugh. It's just strong and just straight to the point.
So
add a little vanilla.
I see the story here about Charles. He's bowed out of the Calypso competition because his wife just died.
Oh, sympathies.
Yeah, she died on January 12 from ovarian cancer, and
everything is cancer these days, boy. Every single thing. Before, people died of many different ailments. Cancer is just taking us out.
He said she was suffering a lot, and God took her out of her misery. So, So, all condolences to Charles and his family.
Condolences.
Indeed.
You guys know he teaches. I don't know if he teaches still, but I know he used to teach at UVI. In St.
Chocolate isn't from Trinidad?
Yeah, but he was a professor at UVI in the Virgin Islands. I don't know if he's retired now or not, but I know the last thing I'd heard was he was still a professor.
But you know the money you spend for that particular disease. And then I had the opportunity to speak to someone just yesterday that was telling me after chemo, like just wiping her face, her skin was peeling off. And I'm like, all of that you go through to get better. And some persons are lucky to get better, and others just end up going to the grave. Like I saw Michael Strahan's daughter.
I'm hearing
most
headline
recently
on NBC now, increased cancer rates.
Wow.
Yeah, someone just sent that, indicating that now the headline on NBC is the increased cancer rate. So, and we're talking about...
Yeah, Michael Strahan's daughter. You see, Isabella, she had so much hair, and now she has 0 hair.
Wow.
Just because she has to go through the therapy, because she was in university having bad headaches. And then at one point she was dizzy. Then the next point it was hard for her to walk and concentrate.
What kind of cancer was it?
She had a tumor on the brain.
Wow.
Yeah. That's rough. So she still has to go through bouts of chemo. And she's already lost. Her locks look like Rapunzel because she got from birth some golden tight curls that were long because her mom's white, her dad's black. He looks like he has some form of mixture in his black. So she had really nice hair. And now she and her dad was on Good Morning America talking about it. But it's sad how cancer is. If I watch St. Jude now, y'all, my heart's going to be breaking inside. My tears are going to be flowing down my face. Like, I just feel sorry because those are little children and they're already in the fight. Yeah. Fighting cancer.
There are two things I wanted to mention about that have been going on in Angola. I don't know if you guys saw that story with this gorgeous water park that just opened in Anguilla. I think it might have been last month, maybe. Really big. So it's like I don't know if it's part of a hotel or.
Okay.
But it's really nice. With water slides and water rides and stuff. And then now, just seeing this where they're about to build an indoor sporting facility. And the story is saying, meanwhile in St. Kitts and Nevis, there's silence on a similar initiative. No plans in sight or on the agenda of Minister of Sports, Isabella Douglas, or Minister of Infrastructure. Let's elevate the conversation and push for inclusive spaces to nurture our talents.
But we're supposed to get a new hotel soon. I saw they break ground, Hotel Indigo. And that's going to have a bowling alley. I wonder if locals are going to be welcome.
Yeah.
That would be a nice thing.
They'd be stupid if it wasn't open to locals. No, well, here's why. We know for a fact that during the off season, the local patronage is what pulls these hotels through.
And they saw that in COVID. It was the local population that pulled them through as well. I mean,
my first time at we all went down to Arthur's in December. December 2022, right? Okay. And not December, October 2022. And I was shocked. It was a Sunday afternoon. It was all locals.
Yeah, nobody's coming.
And it was full. So, and I was telling my wife, I said, well, man, this is pretty surprising. I mean, you would think that. But, yeah, so it proves over and over again that you have to cater to the local market as well. And when the tourists are not around, they are the ones that are going to keep the bills paid.
Yeah.
So if they have a bowling alley and they think they're going to keep it to themselves, I don't really think that's going to be a thing, to be honest. Yeah. But I think that was something I always thought we should have had a long time ago. But good. I also think paintball would be cool too.
We do have paintball.
Are you serious? Where?
Yeah. Fort Thomas Hotel.
Thomas Hotel?
That's where they do the activity. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jam Sir, have you been loving?
I do know that the equipment is expensive, so
yeah, they have paintball here though.
We'll sign him up to play.
I can't believe it, really.
No, it probably would not be a bad idea.
Oh my gosh!
but the other thing I wanted to say.
Azard, you better hope you don't catch you first.
The thing I wanted to point out about that water park, right?
Okay.
Y'all really on my case today. Anyway,
Carty will be you and I. We'll have them versus Jamster.
the thing I wanted to point out about that water park.
He's not. He's making sure he stay on his point. He's not coming to the paper.
No, because I had wanted to talk about it when it came up before.
Okay. Go
because
ahead.
when you look at the size of the water park, right? And then you think about a place like Anguilla, which has always had water problems, long before we ever dreamed of having water problems. So I'm wondering, I think they have desalination and stuff in Anguilla, but I'm just wondering, I'm wondering what it takes to supply water for a place like that in a country where water is not exactly
a problem. Where water is a problem?
It is a problem at the best of times. And it looks gorgeous, and
is that government investment, or is that investment from other persons, like outside persons, I should say?
No, I'm not sure. It's never been clear whether it's part of a hotel. I think it might be part of a hotel complex. It's huge, and I was like, God, why can't we have something like that here?
We should go,
but I couldn't ignore the logistical angle vis-a-vis water. Where are you going to find all that water? And which is why, you know, I don't know if you guys know that sometimes in some of those big countries they actually have different grades of water that they distribute. Like they'll have water that's intended for watering gardens and pools and filling pools, and then they'll have a different grade of water for what you're gonna drink and so on. So it'll be interesting to see how they intend to pay. Well, how where they intend to get all that water from and stuff.
We have a caller.
See. Yeah, the phones are ringing.
Okay, I think Rusty is calling.
Okay, let's see what Rusty has to say.
I have to plug it in, so you guys can talk in the meantime.
Okay.
Alrighty. You know, Rusty's calling to win. That's why I said, Rusty, you should come. I can run for minister. You know, Rusty needs to come and run on a PAM ticket, you know, because you see, he openly admitted that he was a PAM, and then he pulled it back a little, but he needs to run
Rusty
on a PAM ticket.
Rusty knows where his heart is.
Rusty. Oh boy. Azard, you mentioned the article. Did they say how much it increased? The cancer has increased by?
No, it was just a mention of there being an increase. I have not seen the headline or the article.
Okay.
Yes, so we have been looking at some other. You have Rusty? Hello?
Hello.
Morning,
Hey,
Rusty.
Well, good evening, Rusty.
Well, good night, Rusty.
Hey, thanks a lot. Good morning to you guys. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that one. I just want to. I'm gonna compliment Jamster, and I'm gonna get at Jamster. Okay. One, I don't like the shooting thing with the paint gun and stuff. I hate that kind of stuff. I really wish we don't have that. So I'm going to compliment you on that. I mean, the scare that. That's what.
No, he was excited about it.
The other one is the water pack stuff. Let me just explain something, because somebody said we had water problems, that kind of stuff. Let me explain this thing in detail from big. When I was growing up in the 70s, there was no real water problem. You had water turn off now and then, but there's no real water problem. Water problem started, let me just be careful. Water problem started when they start building all these houses around the island. Development here, there, everywhere. And none of the governments thought it was necessary to say, oh, we're bringing out 200 houses, 400 houses, 500 houses. We need to get water and electricity. So we had the same limited amount of electric generation and water provided for. At that time, it would have been 20,000 people living on the island. Now we got the same 50,000 between Saints and Nevis. So you have 50,000 people now, and you don't have enough water for them. They're building all over the place, and you don't even have water to run to some of these areas. Not even cable to some of these places. So the problem really for me is the trying to get water. I lived in Cairn before I left here. And there's a drain there where Gumbs used to live. There's always water running down there, tons of water. I don't know how to measure water. But nobody studied that. And it comes from some tank somewhere. I don't know the area, water and stuff. Oh. But they're not catching the water. When you drive from Connery, go on to Keys, if there's rain or stuff, you see the amount of water running on the side. I don't know if you can catch that water and recycle it or something. But there's a lot of water on the island still. There's a place where you go in all road, like Bloody Point area. There's a river there runs as well sometimes. Water just running all over. But nobody interested in keeping it. Everybody interested in Bede is a developer. We're going to get Bede to drill a well here and there. There was a well right next to the place there on the freeway road, the Pond Road area there. There was a well right there. There's a catchment in Connery. There's a thing on top in Connery. It leaks. Water just running out of it. There is water on the island, but we're not catching it and doing anything. And the next thing and last thing, because I can't hear y'all, this one is last one. The water problem here is solved now because the gentleman got the contract to bring in the water catchment or the buckets or what they call it. I don't know what they call it. But I want a job from the government. So on your show, I'm applying to the government to allow me to bring generators into the country. And I don't want 6 million. I want 10 million. I think 10 million for that. So if I can get a 10 million job contract, like my very good friend who brought in the water stuff, I'll be quite happy. So let them write y'all on Island T and tell me if I get the job. don't have a comment. They could write you guys. They could write Azard or Kortensia or Jamster and let me know if I got the contract.
Okay.
All right, guys. I continue listening. Thanks a lot.
Okay, no problem.
For those persons who I have just seen on Facebook, we have here Honorable Conr Mayad's Facebook, and it's been verified. It's the Facebook page. And if persons look there, it says there's a statement by the Honorable Conr Mayad, and it's dated 17th January 2024. And it is a statement that speaks to, it says on Thursday, 11th January 2024, Mr. Duncan Big Lice Watley, in a viral Facebook live rant on his popular Facebook program, made very serious, scandalous, and outrageous and downright false statements about me, my character, and my integrity. This live has garnered over 9,000 views on his Facebook page and 25 shares to the other Facebook pages. The live has also received over 7,000 views on a particular YouTube channel and countless more republications on social media and electronic platforms with worldwide reach. Having listened to the speech, it is clear that Mr. Watley deliberately set out to use his platform and his position in the government to launch vicious and unfounded attacks against me with the intention to cause serious harm to my character and my reputation, both personally and professionally, under the guise of being informed. And it goes on further. It's quite a post, but at the end of it, it says, I will not stand for this and intend to pursue this matter against Mr. Watley to the full extent of the law. So persons who want to read through that post, the Honorable Conr Mayad has issued a statement on his Facebook page in relation to the live that Mr. Duncan Big Lice Watley had on Thursday, 11th January 2024. Yes. So just giving persons an update. I know we can't go through it yet because we are still to read it in its entirety. And we have our farm report at 9 a.m. Following by, we have guests from the Ministry of Gender Affairs at 9:30 today. And so persons who are aware of the live can now be aware of the fact that there has been a statement made by the Honorable Conr Mayad on his Facebook page in relation to the matter.
Okay, let's take a quick break and come back and hope Troy shows up.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
Dreaming of that perfect getaway? Hop aboard the Michelina ferry to the breathtaking islands of Saba, Statia, St. Martin, and St. Kitts. Embark on a delightful journey and enjoy sun-kissed beaches, vibrant cultures, and unforgettable experiences. Visit MichelinaFerryService.com to book your island-hopping adventure today.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 WIN FM.
Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less and save more. How, you ask? Essential Everyday and Equiline. Spend less on our Essential Everyday products and get the best quality, the best taste, and the best value. Spend less for all your family health and beauty needs with the Equiline brand of over-the-counter products. Portsmouth's Value Mart IGA is helping you spend less with our Essential Everyday products and Equiline over-the-counter health and beauty care products. Shop smart and spend less at Value Mart, where price matters most.
This is a nice mix. I like this.
So we back? Yeah. Yeah.
Come back in.
9 o'clock exactly.
So we are awaiting Mr. Troy Flanders, who is going to be on radio momentarily. He is going to be back after a whole year of not seeing Troy, not hearing from Troy here on Win FM. It's been
Troy's
a whole
gonna
year.
get you.
You know? Huh? It's been a whole year, Jamster.
The year is not even finished yet, and AZ is saying it's a whole year.
Yeah.
It's not a whole year.
I'm sure he has a loyally definition
When
for
does
what
the
he
year
means by a
start?
whole year.
Hmm?
When does the year
You mean
start?
because we didn't see him last year?
We saw him last year.
Mm.
When does the year start? Not
No.
January 1st?
Yeah.
When does the year? Oh,
End?
and then the year
31st.
December 31st.
Yeah, but are we there yet?
No. So you
we
can't
only-
say you haven't seen him for a whole year?
I haven't seen him for 1 year. Okay, I'll correct my statement. I haven't seen him for the entire year so far.
Or for the year so far.
Oh, for the year.
I haven't.
Okay.
I'm not saying I haven't seen him in 1 year.
But you can't describe the
Okay.
year's entire when
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
it's only
seen
partially.
You haven't seen him since the year would have started.
since the year has started. I have not seen Troy on Win FM.
Okay. Now that's a correct statement.
Hmm.
Me neither. I said, what? Things are good, boy. Troy don't need us no more, boy.
Yeah.
Things are
For
gone.
the
You-
entire
you-
year so far, I haven't
You're
seen
not
him.
gonna make Troy stop bringing watermelons and stuff, you know.
He's just
You-
going to bring it and
know?
say none for AZ. That's
we-
all.
'Cause
That's all.
We
He's
get
going to say it.
mangoes and,
None
and
for AZ.
watermelons and the way
Troy,
he's
if you're hearing us,
the way he's acting
all
out of
we're
pocket.
saying is that we want you back here as soon as possible, and we're glad that you're coming here today. That's just what I'm saying, Troy. So if you have watermelons on the way, you share that watermelon. Even if I'm not here at the time, I know that the watermelon will be held by either Jamstar or Kortensia for
Oh,
me
boy.
for when
It
I
would be-
return.
Really? It would
Yes.
be. It would be so nice if Troy came and said, "I brought watermelon for you guys, but none for
None
us."
for Azard. Oh, my
No,
God.
he wouldn't do that. He's not that kind of person.
None at all. None at all.
So as we wait for the farm report, we have seen, and then seen just before the break, there has been information indicating that there has been a statement made by the Honorable Conr Mayad on his Facebook page in relation to Big Lyce's live on Thursday. So, and if you go to the Honorable Conr Mayad's Facebook page, it really does say more things than I only read. Perhaps I think I read the first paragraph, but there are other paragraphs there that really speak to other things, and so all I could say in St. and Nevis on the political scene, there is never a moment that there's always something going on the political scene. There's always something
We're festive
going
over
on.
here.
Yeah, one thing about it, there's always something going on the political scene here in St. and Nevis. So when person said that the other things that we could talk about, I mean, when there's so many things happening here politically, why not talk about it here as too? And not saying that we don't talk about the other things, but we talk about the other things, and so we could talk about this as well. You understand? You should not be afraid to talk about these things.
And then for the people in the diaspora that don't live here and don't know,
They often like this, the fact that we're here to engage
Inform
and to
them.
inform them as to what is happening, and they feel a part.
Call.
Yes.
Caller, good morning. You're live
yeah.
on Island
It's
T.
actually Rusty. Go ahead. Hey, go
Yeah,
ahead.
me again before he name come in. Before
Try go.
Good you, Rusty. Good you.
Hey, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to make one point. Not long. Kortensia just spoke about Douglas make a post on his site.
Mhm.
As I just say, Congress made a post on his site. Listen, following the game, you haven't followed what happened. Yesterday, I tell you all that the cabinet or whoever came together against Drew and fire Big Life. Now the power to move forward. So what these two gentlemen are doing, Deputy Prime Minister and Prime Minister to be, are in waiting, are coming to the public to clear their names. That's what they're doing. Watch the game carefully. The only thing that PM Drew could do is to call the fresh elections to punish them. Get a pound of flesh. That's all he could do. A gone, guys. Right.
Wow, those are interesting. What's the interesting things? And based on what we saw or heard, we'll say what we heard during the time when it was, you recall, when there was the election for leadership, and you had Honorable Conr Mayad, Honorable Terence Drew, and Honorable Jeffrey Hanley, and you heard when the clip from Douglas saying, Conr Mayad, and there has been thought that, there would have been some sort of favor towards Congress from Dr. Douglas. That is what persons have been saying. And so Rusty now saying, you read what's been there on
cleanup.
Dr. Douglas's page, and then you see now the Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas page and Honorable Conr Mayad page now, and things are happening. And so when persons say that, why are we talking about these things? Or why are we talking about what's happening in cabinet, or who attends cabinet, or who should be attending cabinet? There's so many things. We could discuss Trump. We could discuss Biden, President Biden, former President Trump. We could discuss DeSantos. Why can't we discuss what's happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis? But we have Troy here.
Sanctimonious.
So I'm saying there's so many things happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Why can't we discuss it? So that's back to the comment that the person made in relation to that. But we have Troy here, and I want to say not congratulations. I want to say welcome back, Troy.
Happy New Year, Troy.
For the whole year, we have not heard you
the whole month.
Seen you.
We are not in that with Azard because we want our watermelon. You could take Azard's name off the list.
I could say we could discuss agriculture today. So that's something we could discuss.
So since the year
and you're right. December 31, I wasn't here, and January 1, I still wasn't here. So you're right. That's a year.
But I can't believe you're abetting this nonsense.
Listen, they're really all in one head, Watch them.
Thank you, Mr. Flanders, for understanding the point that I was trying to
make. You're not here January to December.
So I want us to take, as we welcome Troy, I will have to step out. I just wanted to be here to say, welcome back. I'll step up momentarily. We take a short break, and then we could come back with the...
No, we could go ahead. Let's go ahead. Because
yes, welcome back. I had leave you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just take a little break.
So we have to welcome you back.
No, welcome me back. I consider myself now as family.
Okay. All right.
Of course.
So welcome home.
Okay.
Welcome home.
And as I say, I would like to say, prosperous 2024 to all our listeners. The best of health, the best of wealth. The best of everything. I know between January 1 to December 31, we ain't know what's going to happen. So let's hope for the best.
Yep.
Yeah. So farm report. What are we reporting on today?
Yes. I almost said that Troy has nothing to report, and maybe that's why we're not seeing him.
Oh, no.
I was wondering, in terms of, I know you guys would have done planting for the next period. Has the rainfall been adequate for the last,
No.
No? Still not? No.
What happened? I come here and I praise the rainy season coming and urging farmers to be prepared for the rainy season and so, but we are in a prolonged drought period.
Still,
yeah.
Even with the little rain that we're seeing.
Yeah, that just touched the surface. That ain't going nowhere.
Wow.
So you have a prolonged drought. So today, what I'd like to touch on, as I come here, one farmer called me and he reminded me about the feral animal problem that we're facing. Yes. My heart goes out to the farmers in the Parsons area.
Which animal is this? Are we speaking about the monkeys again?
Well, we have the monkeys and the wild pigs.
Wild pigs?
Wild pigs.
So these pigs are not owned by anyone?
No,
that's what we're saying?
they are wild pigs, yeah. And
they look like normal pigs?
Yeah, normal pig. Yeah.
Or they're just wild because they're not owned?
They're probably a domestic pig and they probably get
away?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he just remind me that he lost over 5 acres of sweet potatoes.
They ate the man's sweet potatoes.
Yes, so.
Oh boy.
And driving coming in, another farmer called me and tell me, "Pai, I just count about 150 monkeys in my area." So I just hope and trust that the Ministry of Agriculture could put the proper funds in the budget for that program, because I know there were some challenges with the program, people who take part in the program having difficulty getting paid.
Oh, wow.
So I just hope that, and it's a very important program. It's something I actually applaud the ministry for, to try and do as much as they could. As a matter of fact, I could recall I was having pig problem, and the acting PS now, Miguel Femin, he was there at my farm, like talking about 2 in the morning. And I was, so, I really had appreciate that.
Oh, to come to see the pigs in action.
Yeah, wow. So they did make a serious effort, but somehow they dropped short.
Okay.
So I hope they put enough money this time around to continue the program.
Okay.
And so the guys could get paid and do what they do.
You see, I'm glad that anecdote you just gave us. I'm glad you said that, because I always have these people who text me and say, "Oh, the farmers, why are they always coming bashing?" I said, "Well, how are they bashing the government? They're just telling us what happened.
Yeah.
For better or for worse." I mean, I don't know. For example, how could anybody characterize that as bashing the government? You said exactly what happened. The man showed up at 2:00. You appreciated it, but I'm just waiting for the text to come, because I don't know. I don't know if these people are listening to this very program from an alternate universe.
Well, you see,
I don't understand it.
If people claim that the program becoming political, so what? Because it's policies that make the difference. That's where politics come in. You change the policies. So I don't mind if you want to say becoming political. It's the policies we want to change.
Yeah.
So that's how we go. As we were speaking about the planting that we set out to do, the consortium, we run into some difficulties, but yet we still trying. To date, we had a couple £1,000 of cabbages we were able to carry to the marketing unit, and some bell peppers, which we call sweet peppers. Yeah, a couple of £1,000. Well, and we still have on the ground. So far, that part of the pepper program is not going as we had wished, but it's going. Okay. And I know there's a lot of difficulties right now with the drought, but I still will encourage farmers to try their best, and plant still.
So don't any of the farmers have irrigation systems?
Yeah, you have 1 or 2 farmers have.
Okay, but I'm assuming that it's kind of expensive to roll out properly.
Yeah, drip irrigation, and so they're little expensive. So, but as we were again last year, we were speaking about the drip program, which the government rolled out. But then you got the drip. What you gonna put through the drip if you know water? You have water problem. What you gonna put through the drip? So this is what we say when they accuse us of being political. This is what we're talking about. Before you roll out drip, think about drilling wells and getting water. Store the water, and then you roll out drip, because you feed the water now back to the farmers.
Probably gravity fed, right?
Right. Yeah. So this is things that we keep discussing. Into no bashing in the government. The government is our partner. You don't go bash them.
You just need them to work with you.
Yeah.
And you also should have the freedom to point out where they're going
the
wrong.
shortcomings, exactly.
Exactly, right.
Well, as the consortium, we actually are reaching out to regional agencies, and so we're doing what we could do to make life easier for the farming community, the consortium. Right? I think we're supposed to have a meeting with an agency out of Jamaica. I think it's tomorrow. I think by Zoom or something, we're supposed to have a meeting with a representative from an agency in Jamaica. And they are around for way longer than us. I think nearly 100 years they are around. So we don't try to see how we could learn from them and see what they are doing, why they are around for so long, and see how best we could serve our people, the members of the consortium. You know, so we're not just sitting with our hands in our lap and hoping for money to drop from the sky. You know, we're doing what we're supposed to do, and at some point in time, it appears like the administration want to work with us, and next time, it seems like they are scared of us. I don't know why, but I believe 2024 going to be a year of, I don't want to say it, but it's going to be a different year.
Do you foresee any headway with import restrictions and so on? I guess that might be a little more difficult now that you're not meeting your water targets, meaning saying, okay, we're going to try and cut back on imports of this particular product. So that the local...
Well, it seems like you're probably reading my notes, you know. You know, we had met with the marketing manager and we were hoping that all they can announce leading up to Easter, there'll be a surplus. But I don't know. There might be a surplus in... Right now, I think maybe tomatoes. Right now, they might have a surplus in that. But I was just hoping that the administration do what they're supposed to do to make the work at the marketing unit much easier. I think at one point in time, the largest supermarket had asked the government to sign a contract with them to ensure that they provide the goods that they require. So the onus is going to be upon us as the farmers to send the product to the marketing unit, and the government now will take it from there and deal with the supermarket. And I don't know if they had signed that contract, because I think the minister had indicated, yes, I'm very much interested. So I don't know if that contract, that was since in October. So I don't know what happened, because October, nobody know that we had less than one inch of rain. In November, nobody know that December we're going to be even worse.
Wow.
So, that's how it is.
So, well, let me ask you a question, because, I mean, it seems to us, the layman, that, we're getting a lot of rain.
Yeah.
To the point where we're like, I'm annoyed. I'm going
Thanks
to
for
this
thinking like
Queen show, and I'm thinking, oh, God, it's going to rain. But
yeah.
What fruit and vegetables thrive even with that little rain? Because clearly you just said that there's going to be a tomato surplus in spite of...
Yeah, because what happened with the tomatoes now, the nights are a little colder.
Okay.
So with the rain and tomatoes...
They get the dew.
The fruit, when it's a bit cooler, that's when the fruit.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
That's what it is. We had sweet pepper, bell peppers was flourishing a bit too.
Okay.
I could tell you it's real tough out there. You look at something like sweet potato. Today, this is January 17 or 16? 17. And we still have a shortage of local sweet potato. Which normally, January, you come in, you just start coming in slowly, but it's not there.
Because of the water
heat
problem.
And the weather, yeah.
Okay.
You know, somebody say...
And the pigs too, I guess.
Yeah,
and the pigs.
Those pigs.
And somebody talk about that something happening in the climate and that. I could say, I usually plant sweet potato from October, right, with no challenges. I've been planting sweet potato in one field, and I just keep replanting that field. Anytime I plant them, they die. Anytime I plant them, they die. They dry down.
Wow.
It is that bad out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have a call. Let's see. Farm report, go right ahead. Okay. Hopefully they'll call back.
How taxing is that on you, Troy? How much are you losing when you keep replanting and then there are no fruits of your labor?
Well, the losses I don't really count because it's so much. I just black it out.
Oh wow.
You just they say you grin and bear it.
Oh
So
boy.
You just black it out.
with sweet potato, what do you? They have seeds or
No, you
is this a
be
slip?
cutting. You cut
Oh,
and
okay.
use the vine.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what you use.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like you're going to farming jam, sir. I have it down, man.
No, farming is something that I will encourage anybody. If you want to go into farming, don't go into it because you feel like you're going to make money. Go in because you love it. Because it's the love for farming will carry you through these difficult times. If you go in thinking, I could make a quick buck, when you hit situation like now, soon as you run in, you just say run back out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Caller, go ahead. Farm report.
Good morning to Island. Good morning.
Hey,
Good
MP.
morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, blessed new Year to you, man.
Yeah, man, all the best politics.
Now, I want to talk a little about the farming, agriculture farming, right? What happened, right? That you're right, we're getting less rain and less rain. And unless you're in the mountain where the place is a little cooler, you cannot get nothing grow how you want it. I went to several farms up in different places and so, right? And the plant, but when the plant, a little rain come, when the sun come out hot, it burn down everything. That's what we're facing right now. So I don't know. The only thing we can do, we pray to God, the Father, to send the blessing up for us to get some rain in the rainy season. Because you see this time supposed to be rainy season. And the rain just falling off and on, just dropping. And the wind, when the little rain come down, the wind blows it away, carry it somewhere. And you know that we got to really do something. And if we cannot get agriculture farm, we can invest into livestock farming. Because you can buy feed and feed your animal them. You can cut grass, because grass is on and give them. So something got to be done to push the economy and keep the economy well alive. Especially like sweet potatoes and all those things. The pigs them, the monkeys, just going around and pull up and the wild pigs them around the people at loot. I believe that is a problem, and I believe the agriculture department is supposed to seriously look into that and try to capture some of those pigs and these monkeys. Anyway, I want the people have to go and shoot the monkey and tell the tail, and they can't get the money. Can't you? I would like to see that more money in the budget to supply them people that they can get pay to do what they got to do, or the farmers them get something. Anyway, may God bless you.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you for echoing it.
Yes, man.
Yeah. As you talk about the joy thing, one farmer tell me that he planted over 100 banana slips. And the guy say all of them die. And banana is something, if you just rest them down, they go and tell me all of them die.
Wow.
Another guy plant some coconut tree.
All of them died.
They make the fate the same way.
Wow.
So right now is higher elevation. You probably do much better. Yeah, if you're
So you have to go up further in the
higher.
mountains.
Maybe we'll go take up some of them the forests. Take a look. But you see, this is where we get back to policies. As if you check it out, Israel and them are farming in the desert. You know, Saudi Arabia and them, Saudi Arabia grow wheat in the desert.
Really? Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
They grow wheat?
Yeah, in the desert. So you got the policies.
And then, the Netherlands, very small country. They're like the second largest agricultural producer in the world. Wheat.
You got to policies.
Oats, all that kind of stuff.
We should
Flowers.
move away from this rain-fed agriculture. I mean, the way the system is set up right now, it is for subsistence farming. So, I mean, you ain't got no semi-commercial or commercial farming saying it's. Yeah.
Caller, go right ahead. Farm report.
Yes. Yeah. Good morning to you guys,
Hey,
man.
what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to call in and render some support to the farmers down on both islands. Last night I was able to connect and found out that some brethren of mine over there in Nevis is really doing the thing and they're pushing. I want to acknowledge those guys, Banky and Yasan Tafari, and also there was a guest in the studio last night on Vision Radio, Mo, who was an old classmate of mine in high school, Charleston Secondary High School there in Nevis. I want to really acknowledge those guys, man, for their work that they have put in. Banky has put in such tremendous work over there in the Nevis end. The man transformed Indian Castle, into a successful agricultural spot that visitors are now able to go and visit. So I just want to acknowledge those guys. And also they mentioned the consortium is now on Win FM. So I'm happy that the farmer that's there today, he's back. And two things that I realized they mentioned last night, and one thing that the farmer that's there now, he mentioned about the government should be concentrating on digging wells. And they mentioned that on the show last night. It's the show named the Everything Agriculture Show. And it's on every Tuesday on Vision Radio in Nevis, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that's a show that needs to get some more recognition. It's a full 2-hour-long show and not just a segment like you guys have on Win FM this morning. And those guys over in Nevis, they need to be acknowledged a little bit more. And as well as the farmers in Sinkers too as well. But for me, observing, it's a big disconnect between the government and the farmers themselves, mostly on Sinkers, but on both islands. So we need to get agriculture pull up, man. We need to pull up. But I noticed that we didn't even have enough discussions about the budget allocations on both islands, how much money was allocated to agriculture on both islands. I noticed that we didn't have enough discussions on that at all. And we need to bring that back because that's where it all started. The public need to know if enough money was allocated so that they can achieve that goal 25 by 25. But to me, one thing I can tell you guys right now, man, when 25 get here, what I'm seeing and I'm hoping that the government is not going to just come out and say, oh, they achieved their goals, 25 by 25, because I have a great hunch that's what they're going to do when 25 get here. They're going to try to come out like as if they really achieved their goal. But right now, leading up to the year 2025, we're not really seeing enough efforts for that to be accomplished. But when that year get here, believe me, they're going to come out and try to act like as if they achieved their goals. But if you don't put in the work now, there's no way they're going to achieve that goals. Yeah. But that's my contribution for now. And one other thing before you go, the guys on the Nevis end was asking if the consortium can get spread onto different programs in St. Kitts. Like, we need to have some more agricultural programs and more discussions so we can spread this word even more. That was another thing I wanted to point it out. But thanks a lot, man. You guys have a good day.
You too. Thanks for your contribution. It's 2024, so we got to get peddling for 2025.
Yeah, and to the end, the latter part of his call, he asked about the consortium. Mm-hmm. We actually did a program with Andrew Huey, and the president was on, I think it was sometime last week, on a regional program. So we do go spread our wings.
Okay.
So I don't say want to touch 25 by 25. Mm. I mean, I leave that for WinFM News newsroom.
Alrighty, I hope WinFM Newsroom is the same.
WinFM Newsroom to get up
deal
there
with that.
And
okay.
The 25 by 25. I mean, as far as I know, the hurricane season already passed since the ending of November.
Okay.
And as the groundbreaking ceremony went for the greenhouse village, it's just the land still be.
Oh boy.
So, and I know nothing gonna happen until the next they release the money from the budget.
Okay.
So it can't happen before February anyway.
Okay.
February, March. So people got to be honest with people,
Yeah.
You can't tell people soon as the hurricane season done, you're gonna start the construction, and you had no money to start nothing. I mean, it's honest. So as soon as I think WinFM News should report to the public what's the status of that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Troy said, well, Troy, we're going to let them do that.
That's too much, too heavy to lift? I don't think so, man. That's something easy to do. Right, Jamsa?
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's 9:30. We got to bring this, the first farm report of the year to an end.
Well,
so we expect
as the caller spoke about Banky, and just want to say kudos to Banky. I know he no longer with the Ministry of Agriculture in Nevis. So I think he's doing his own thing. I think maybe he should come down here and apply for a job. I think we could do well with him in the Ministry of Agriculture in St.
So, Banky, if you're listening, come on down.
Yeah. And to all our super listeners,
mightn't they frustrate him, though?
Here?
I mean, given the marked contrast between the two.
Well,
two agriculture departments, you don't think they might frustrate him?
I don't think so.
You might frustrate them.
Banky is
well,
strong.
yeah,
he's strong. He's strong, and I know Banky will bring about change. You got, is the right post in the right place,
Nice.
As elder normally say, right face in the right place. And Banky fit in.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks again to Win FM.
So
and
see you next week.
Well, farm report will be next week. I don't know if you'll be Troy Flanders or somebody else, but
fair enough.
Yeah, we really appreciate the platform. So we here, and surprisingly, people react to this program.
Nice.
I mean, if we sit down together, you don't have to react to the program because you will know what I come here and I'm going to say. Don't react to anything I say.
Well, let's hope that it gets better and everything is done as you said. And we see the green.
Thanks again.
Okay, Troy. Okay, that's it for our first edition of the Farm Report for 2024. Farm Report returns next week at 9:30.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
(9:33). We're supposed to have some representatives from the
Gender Affairs
Gender
Department.
Affairs. Let's see if they show up. In the meantime, we can.
And between time.
Yeah.
I had a riddle for both of you, but it's like I can never remember when both of you are there, so I'm going to ask you, Jamsa. And if Azard is still listening, let's see if he can figure it out, if you can't figure it out. But then I'll share the answer, so he just might. So what did the elevator said to the other elevator?
What did the elevator say to the other elevator? It's probably something silly, like,
Come on, I think you got it.
I give up.
I think I'm coming down with something. You see, you had it.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that does make sense, but I wouldn't have thought of that.
But he literally, it doesn't have to be a cold or cough or whatever, but he's coming out with something. But then because of the season too, it matched perfectly. So I said I have to ask Azard and Jams to this, and every time you guys are together, I forget.
I'm coming out with something.
I wonder if AZ got it, if he's listening. Oh boy. So Jam, so what else do you have on your radar? What else is happening that you know that I may not have picked up?
Oh, well, let me see. There's some stuff I had in my thing. I have, you can WhatsApp stuff to yourself, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so you use that?
Yeah, lots of times. Okay. I've been WhatsApping a lot of exercise things to myself because I really need to start.
Yeah, mine has kind of gone way down. What's going on? It usually it's
packed?
At the very top. At the top of my. Oh, here it is. Why is it so fat out here? Okay, let me see. Where is it? Okay. Well, I just wanted to point this out because I feel like it's very possible that this flu that's going around might even be a strain of COVID.
It is. I think it is.
But you have to say that probably our immune systems, I mean, I don't know this for a fact because I'm not a doctor, but all of these flu cases can't just be the flu.
Boy.
There must be some COVID cases in between, right? So there's a new variant now that we have to be really worried about. And, it's interesting to see people wearing masks again here and there. So I just think it's important that we do what we have to do to be responsible citizens. If we think we have something, mask up. It's not about it's not just about the possibility of getting stuff from people. You can be giving stuff to people as well. So that's something you have to think about. I always feel like most people don't think that way. They're always thinking about, I don't want to catch anything from people. They're not thinking, well, I could be giving something to people as well.
Something to somebody, yeah. I'm looking at, there's this thing that was put in there. I think I put it in there, where Guyana police destroy billions of dollars in marijuana. They don't know about the industry.
Yeah, I was wondering
why didn't
they seize it and do something with it? Like,
destroy that.
Make some cannabis oil or something. I mean, come on, man.
Boy.
There was a story from last week I wanted to point out.
Which one?
Just speaks to how inept and incompetent the Russian military machine is. Russia accidentally bombs a Russian village near Ukraine border. Yeah, a lot of that happens. Yeah.
Where is that? I'm looking for.
This was from last week, I think.
I'm going through to see what we didn't touch because we put so many things in here.
Oh, really? No, that's the wrong one. No.
Okay.
What's going on? I thought.
But they bombed a village that
this is dated January 3rd. Yeah.
That belonging to them.
Yeah,
that's rough. Oh, look, you have put this one in there. I must read this one. It says, Bastard St. Kitts, and this is January the 10th, 2024, as the world grapples with the emergence of the new COVID Omicron XBB variant. International health authorities have swiftly issued a new health advisory. Surprisingly, the Ministry of Health in St. Kitts and Nevis is yet to provide an update or advisory on the concerning development, leaving the nation in an information void. The recently released global advisory highlights the distinctive characteristics of the XBB variant, urging citizens to be vigilant. Unlike its predecessors, this variant manifests without the typical symptoms such as cough or fever, making detection challenging. Instead, individuals infected with the XBB variant may experience joint pain, headache, neck pain, upper back pain, pneumonia, and a general loss of appetite. Yeah. Good morning. So we really have to be mindful.
So you see, because I didn't really have a fever, right? So makes you wonder, right?
Are you saying what you're saying?
No. I'm not saying, but no, I'm not. But see, this is why I'm saying that's why it's important to be, it's important to be conscientious about who you come in contact with when you're feeling a little below the weather, right? Yeah. So, as promised, we have two members from the Ministry of Gender Affairs.
Yes.
And good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. And we have with us Mario from Gender Affairs on Nevis. And I would like the young lady to introduce herself because I don't have her name.
My name is Jasmine Brown.
Good morning, Miss Brown, and welcome to Win FM. And I see that we will be discussing this morning International Mentoring Day and the importance of mentoring. So, Mario, I will ask you to begin. I know it's ladies first, but I'll ask you to begin. What is International Mentoring Day and why is mentoring important?
All right. So, I want to say thank you so much for having us, and we are happy to be here. I am Mario Phillip, the chair of the Boys Mentorship Program on Nevis. And as you heard, I have with me Jasmine Brown. She's the deputy chair of the board. And today is International Mentoring Day. And International Mentoring Day is celebrated around the world, as the name suggests, to support the mentorship movement. Mentorship is simply passing on what you have acquired, right? That's intellectually and mentally, and your skills, your know-how to somebody else so that they can develop and explore their full potential, right? And so we all would have had mentors at some point in time, whether in a formal context like the mentorship program that we are part of, or informally, like maybe a family member would have mentored you, or a neighbor, who always looked out for you and taught you, what to do and how to behave or a particular skill, right? We all know that those teachers that we could never forget, right? That did more than just
true.
Being simply a teacher.
Yes.
They taught us character, they taught us integrity and how to dress and speak and everything, right? And we think about them all the time. That's what it means to be a mentor. And mentorship is very important. And I would say it's extremely important in St. Kitts and Nevis because we have a lot of social ills, and we see some behavior in our population or young people that we would prefer didn't exist. But we can't bash them and say, why are they behaving this way? We have to show them, the right path and take the initiative. I just want to say before I turn over to Jasmine that the color for the mentorship movement here in St. Kitts and Nevis is green.
I was just going to say that your folks look like you're wearing the color.
I should have let you guess.
What's on your shirt? I know anything that's happening, you're always in sync with it. So I knew right away it's green. It's green.
And for the mentorship movement, green represents healthy growth as a result of intentional care and investment.
Ooh.
Right?
Is that the motto? Is that
well, we may work on making it that.
Sounds very nice.
When we said it, we were like, oh yes, we have to stick with this.
Yeah, that sounds
what
nice.
The green represents. If you have a garden, if you neglect it, rain will fall, sun will shine, and it will grow up, but not the best.
Not the best at all.
Some things would stop growing anyway and dry up and turn
brown.
Right?
you got it. So you got the green on top of the I like that.
But some things might struggle to grow, and they might look a little shade, not too vibrant and so. But the green represents healthy growth, right? Like we want our mentees to grow and blossom into all they can be. Healthy growth, but it doesn't just come, if you know anything about gardening or even a lawn, that it takes work. And you have to be intentional about it. You have to remove the weeds, right? Those are the bad influences that are around. And you have to, some trees you have to
prune,
prop them up, right? You have to support them and show them, no, don't lean this way.
Yeah?
over
Lean
here.
over
This is
here.
the way to go. This
Yes,
is the way to
the
grow.
better way, the better
right?
way, yeah.
Yes, yes,
Ooh,
yes.
this is the way to grow and
And
grow.
yes.
Man, look at you with all these good things this morning. That's very good, very
Listen,
good.
my grandmother, she loves planting. So when the banana trees come up and
Yeah.
they go in the man, she take a stick. She used to go hard work, I used to
Uh-huh.
follow her into the bush. You have to cut a stick and cut it a specific time of the month based on the phase of the moon. 'Cause if you cut it wrong time, the stick is going to rotten and all these things. When you talk about intentional growth,
Wow.
and if my grandmother do that for a banana tree,
Mhm.
right, because she
Mhm.
want to make sure her banana tree stand up in any hurricane that come
Right.
or anything like that,
Uh-huh.
she go cut this stick and I have to carry it back and she prop up the banana tree,
Mhm.
showing it, you need to grow this way.
Yes.
Yeah? And I'll give you the support with the
Uh-huh.
stick and so. And the other things in the garden, she watering them morning, evening, weeding them up and digging around and all these
Nice.
things. And if we do that for plants, so that we can see healthy growth,
Yes.
we need to do that for our youth,
Yes.
and in particularly our young boys,
Yes.
right? It's not it's past time where we just talk about what they're doing, what they're not doing,
Yes.
and we're saying St. Kitts and Nevis, we have the capacity to change and impact the next generation so that they can be healthy individuals.
Okay, great.
Jasmine?
Yes, the thing that we have been doing in Nevis, we have the intentionality has been to focus a lot on our first farmers.
Okay.
We do have other farms, but last year we realized that we worked with some, and that was the only year, and then they graduate out of it. And so we intentionally look for first and second farmers so that we have a tracking system. So if we were able to work with a child for like maybe the 4 years or 5 years they're in high school, then we would have been able to track their development, their performance against those who didn't get the opportunity to work in the program.
Okay.
And so we are hoping to develop a system where we see the growth, we can intentionally look at what's happening, and then we can capitalize on what works and what do not work. And so this is the second year we are doing this in Nevis. And so we are growing from what we did last year. This year, we included the Gingerland Secondary School. And from that school, we end up having 12 children. So instead of the 20 we thought we would have had, we are looking at closer to 24 right now. And so we also were very fortunate to have men in the community who said yes. And so we're still looking for one or two more because sometimes life happens and we don't want to, have a void. So if we have some mentors that are on standby, like last year, it worked well for us because we have a mentor that was on standby and the person stepped right in because of a situation. And so we're still looking for some men. But right now we have approximately 24 men that have said yes. And so these are men that didn't have to be particularly free because most of them are busy. There's a saying that if you want something get done, get a busy person.
Yes.
And so most of these men are doing something. They're working. So they are encouraged to bring these youths alongside them so they can see healthy living. We don't want them to create a lifestyle because we don't want it to be fake. We want it to be authentic.
Yes.
And so we're looking at men who can bring the child along, whether as musicians or health gurus or nature walks or whatever the skills are. Some of them, they have some great ideas and some great initiatives that they want to do. And so we encourage the mentors to bring whatever they want to bring to the program that they can help develop our children. However, not just what the mentors do, the board has developed a program, a year-long program that includes self-development workshops, and that includes loving themselves, opportunities to do research on older people who have passed on, or who have lived long, interviewing older people, and that's one of the things we want to do for the Father's Day area. So we look at the old men in our community, what they have contributed, so the boys get a chance to interview them and learn from them. Exactly. Yes. And then we also want to do some competitions between the the men, the different mentor group, because lively competition is important, because the boys strive, strive and competed. So we have lots of initiatives and workshops to do throughout the year. So it's not just left to the mentor to do everything. The board is coming alongside. Okay. So we have created what we call a team that is really looking at these boys. And yesterday we visited NISS as well as Gingerland High School. And it was our mentorship day of prayer and intercession. So we went to the schools and we did that. And the interesting thing was we were going not necessarily to do any interaction, but to just pray around the school. And this teacher brought out 2 young men that had nothing to do with our program. And so we were able to interact and pray with them. And at the end, young man turned to me and asked me if I knew a particular person. And I said yes. And I explained how I know the person. So I said, what relationship you had with that person? She said, that person passed away, however. And so that's why he asked. And so he said she helped me to control my anger. She loved me. She showed me, how to be a better person. Wow. And she fed me. And so I said, well, who is loving you now? He said, no one. Wow. And immediately I saw the grief that was still present. And this person died over 6 months ago. Wow. And so I asked him, can I hug you? He said yes. And so I hugged him, and you saw tears. And I'm tearing up for him now. And I promised him that I would include him in another activity I'm doing. Okay. So sweet. I can be close to him, because he was open enough to say, hey, this person did that. Do you know the person? Is like, I'm connected to that person now. Person actually was my cousin. Okay. And so he is looking for me. Is this person like that person? Yes. And so I feel the need to step into that role. So I'm saying that sometimes our program don't necessarily just address the issues with those mentees that we have, but it spills over. Yes. And we also we spill over in several ways. And so I really want to encourage people to adopt a person, adopt a child, positive relationship to develop in our community, that we may see a different generation to come.
So what are we doing today for this specific day? What is being done? Is it being done both on Nevis and St. Kitts, or is it just Nevis?
Yes, so we have a week of activities because we normally celebrate for the week here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So we had a church service on Sunday. On Monday we did a school visit at NISS, the Nevis International Secondary School. And then yesterday was our day of prayer. And as Jasmine said, we prayed in the schools, and then we also had a prayer service for the young men and boys, not only in the program, but in our country. Today, we would have had the launch of the Gingerland Secondary School chapter of the program, as Jasmine mentioned. They just coming on board, but we had to make a shift, so that's happening tomorrow. Okay. Yes, so today, this is our promotional event today to let everybody know that the
what's happening
movement is alive and well in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so tomorrow we have the launch of the Gingerland Secondary School chapter. And on Friday, everybody gets to participate, because Friday is Green Day. And remember, we're wearing green because it signifies healthy growth as a result of intentional care and investment. And so that's what's happening. And as Jasmine said, the program, that has been our mission, not only to, as we enter these schools and launch different chapters, we are just at our second school in Nevis, and we are planning to go to all of them, right? So we have one more secondary school on the island, and then, we go on into the primary schools. But
I was just going to ask about that.
We don't want to just impact the students who are in the program. We want the whole school to feel our presence. That's why we do the school visits, where mentors and the board members, some ministry officials come to the school just to let them know you are important. I always tell them
we're here for you.
People care for you. People are giving up their time and their money for you. And you could see some of them tell me plain out, when I ask them, you believe you're important? Some of them say no.
No, wow.
right? Because of the different struggles, life issues that they would have gone through, how people treat them, right?
Yes.
Or they have nobody who is showing them that they're important, which is why mentorship is important. And I want to make the appeal to anyone out there listening in the Federation. We always need new mentors. The limitations of the program is just how many mentors we can have, right? And so if we get 10 more mentors, we can get 10 more mentees, because the mentees, they're not hard to find, right? They're ready. The principal at GSS, I told him, we're having the launch, come and do some remarks. He said, what I said, just share how you feel. You say that if you're happy or if you're sad that the program is being launched. He said, that's sad because you should have been able to take some more.
Oh Lord,
right?
I understand.
So we have persons there who need help, but there are people around who can give the help. But I'm challenging you on today, January 17th, Mentorship Day, 2024. I'm challenging you. Look in your life and see how you can make a positive difference. You can call the Department of Gender Affairs on St. Kitts or Nevis, because on St. Kitts, the program has been running and going strong. It's led by Dion Brown, my colleague, who is now here with me, couldn't be here today. But he has the program flourishing, and he's the St. Kitts program would have helped us, to get started in Nevis. And so give the department a call and let them know, hey, I am a man who is willing to not just stand by and watch or stand on the side and say, oh, well, young men need to do better, but I'm here to help them do better and be intentional about it, right? And St. Kitts also have a girls mentorship program as well. We are hopefully in Nevis, by the end of this year, we can get ours going, right? But there is so much room and opportunity for anyone out there to stand up and give back, and so we are encouraging you, imploring you to do that, as we are intentional about the growth of our young people.
I see you have a limit of the amount that you can have. Do you think that others who may see their friends thriving in the program, do you think they'll feel a type of way that they can't get in on the action?
I think there's some level of because we pay attention to our children, and even yesterday we saw it, where our children that are in the program felt special. So and I'm sure they're gonna feel much more special as the year go by. Unfortunately, I believe the thing that keep men from wanting to commit is feeling they don't have enough time. Like I said before, give a busy person something to do, he'll get it done. However, a lot of us are busy, lots of things that taking our attention. But mentoring don't necessarily mean that you have to reinvent your life or even do something extraordinary. You just have to bring along the child. You just,
let them see your busy life. And let them see how you handle all the things.
So when do these children get to go along, since they're school children? What days do they get to go along with their mentors?
It would be outside of school hours. Right? But the mentors are asked to interact with their mentee at least 2 hours a week. Right? And that could be any time. It could be on the weekends, any time that the mentor arranges with the parent. As long as the parent and mentor agree that this time works, this activity works, this location works, can be any time. It could be taking them, as Jasmine said, just let them see you do life. Let them see that you play basketball on the weekend, or you go and you watch cricket, or you work in your wood shop,
farm.
or you're on your farm. And we have never had a mentor, a mentee. I was like, oh, I don't need this mentor. I'm not interested in what he's doing.
Nice.
Right?
That's good.
Because a lot of them, they don't have anybody to come alongside them or to say, come and let's do this together. Let me show you this. So they're always excited. Whatever it is the mentor wants to share with them, they're always excited. So there is room. And before we run out of time, I must say that with all of the things that we do, we couldn't do it. We're not only without our mentors and the parents who allow us to interact with their children, but without our sponsors, right? And we have some very awesome sponsors that the support is real. And the Bank of New Innovation is our primary sponsor, Bonnie.
For the second year.
Yes, for the second year. They've been with us from the start and still with us, and they are committed. They show up at all of the events, like the CEO and the COO comes because they are invested in our young people. And I am just want to give a shout out to them.
Yes.
And we have other sponsors like Huge Fun. They provide all the games that we use at huge games nonetheless. So the boys are always thrilled that we use at our fun events. And we have Pat Claxton at Island Bargains, our shipping company, always come on board whenever they have the chance. So we are happy to have our sponsors with us. And they are serious about the investment in our boys, and we want to let the community know that you too have the opportunity to come on board, sign up to be a mentor, recommend somebody you think could be a good mentor, so that we can change the lives of our young men. Jasmine is looking at me. I just need to share the pledge.
please share the pledge before we go.
This is the Mentee pledge, right? And it embodies what we expect from our boys, what we are intentionally growing them into in 2024. It says, as a 2024 Mentee, I have faith that we will strive for moral excellence, to increase in knowledge, and practice self-control in all areas of our lives. I will learn patience and endurance for myself and those around me. I will live a goodly life that ensures that I practice the right behavior. I will consider others with empathy and care and show kindness to everyone.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's what we're growing them into intentionally.
Good stuff. So thank you, Mario. Thank you, Jasmine. Keep doing the good work. And for those of you that are listening, you are always welcome to join the program and make an impact on the lives of especially our young men in the Federation. As he said, there is mentorship for the ladies too, but especially our young men, because we see how often we lose one of them to violence. So
thank you very much for having us.
You're welcome. It was indeed our pleasure. And keep doing the great work. And see you the next time.
Yes, definitely.
The next time you have something else to come and share with us here at
I'm
WIN
always
FM.
happy to be here with you.
Oh,
and just remember, everybody, Friday is Green Day.
Green Day. So wear your green.
Intentional.
Yes, wear your green. Alrighty.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, Jam, so this is the end of our run?
This is the end of it. Yes, it's
all right.
2 minutes after 10 o'clock.
So 2 lashes for you only?
No, just for you.
All right.
So you will be back tomorrow for Island Tea.
Same place, same time.
Okay.
All right.